Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Tuesday. Kind of a special numbers day today at 2/22/22, which only probably happens once in a lifetime. So a happy Tuesday. A little bit of Tai Chi to warm up today after our regular warm up. Just kind of getting into the flow, and then we'll do kind of a mixed tradition version of the 8 Brocades. So let's begin. Feet about shoulder width apart. Knees nice, soft, and bouncy. Upper torso erect but relaxed. And let's just begin to turn from side to side. Just letting the arms swing free to begin. Get a little movement in to get a little fluid moving in the joints. Maybe get the body temp up a bit. See, I'm a little bit bundled up today because the temp is relatively mild outside. Means the heat doesn't kick on very often in the house, making my basement studio rather chilly. Which is wonderful in mid-August, not so much in mid-February. Let's go ahead and take the hands into loose fists and begin tapping on the lower belly and lower back. Call this knocking on the door of life. See this in our warm-ups probably 2 or 3 times a week at least. Waking up our energy center, our lower dantian. Which we generally visualize in the lower abdomen, but it's central in the body. Also tapping in the kidney area, which is kind of our commander of our energy center. And just a reminder, no session right now on Wednesdays. May be able to bring that one back soon. For those of a certain age, and you know who you are, I'm teaching now at the Cedarburg Senior Center, Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. A little bit longer class than this one. That one is 40 to 45 minutes, beginning at 10 a.m. Would love to have you join us in person if you're inclined to do that sort of thing. Just $3 drop-ins. And that one is through the Senior Center. It's not really just teaching there. And you always have the option to do it seated. We'll continue to do our online seated session on Thursdays, but there are ample chairs in the room. If you'd like to do a seated practice instead, all of those sessions will either be easily doable seated or easily adapted seated. And just a few more taps here in the lower belly, lower back area, and then we'll bring that front hand up the body, just below the collarbone, a little valley where the chest and shoulder meet. This is the end point of the lung meridian. Tap here to stimulate the immune system. For those not local to me, we are under a bit of a strange winter condition today. It's relatively mild outside, but very icy. Kind of some freezing drizzle, a little bit of mixed precipitation. They've actually closed most of the area school districts. It wasn't too bad earlier this morning, but by midday, it's supposed to be a little dicey outside, so. A good day to be indoors. let's flatten out the hands, let the arms go a little bit limp. And let's come up and over the shoulder. A little bounce in the knees. Take this one in 3 parts today, beginning with a bit of Tai Chi form work, get us into the flow, and then kind of a mixed bag, tradition-wise, of the 8 brocades. And our postures today will do the 3 treasures, sometimes called the 3 centers. Pause at the lower, middle, and upper dantian. Let's come back to the front, begin working our way back down. Lower back and shoulder area now, just beneath the collarbone. And let's begin to more consciously shift the weight from side to side. Even letting yourself roll to the inside and outside of each foot. Coming all the way back down to the belly. And then to finish the swings, we'll take this tap into a reach, letting the momentum of that arm swing pull the trailing heel off, pushing off the toe. And let's shrink this down, working our way back to our neutral starting position. And let's connect to the breath with some spinal cord breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. As you breathe in, spread the elbows apart, squeeze the shoulder blades together. As you breathe out, fold that all back in, gently rounding the back. Slowing down enough now to let the breath lead, letting the body follow the breath. Last few. Let's add just a little bit of a turn at the top. Pulling everything back to center as we breathe out. Come on up, a little twist. Just enough to get a little stretch. And one more. release the arms, and as we rise, let the hands float up with arms extended. Draw them back in toward the body and let them float down, and you can let your whole body melt down along with it. Breathing in and breathing out. A little bit of a circular motion here, starting with the arms extended. Draw them in a little bit like you're pulling a wheel back towards you, letting the hands float on down. One more time. And as the hands float down, this time turn the palms in toward one another. Let them come back up like we're holding a ball, but then expand. Come on back in. Fingertips approach, but don't quite touch each other. And then palms flatten. Melt down. Breathing in, rising, expanding. Breathing out. Catch the moon and press it down. One more time, pressing down, and then let's rise again and expand, and this time let one hand float high, one float low. Catch a large ball in the middle. Breathing in, expand back out. Breathing out, let the other hand float to the top of the ball. Let's take one more like this. This time close in a little bit tighter, and then let the bottom hand float out to the side. Turn the front hand over, let that back hand come on back, palm passes palm, press forward. Breathe in, toss away. Breathe out, pressing forward. Fending off the monkey. Or in the case of some of us, the monkey mind. Too much thinking, thinking about things to come, thinking about things to do, overthinking about things past. Just push that away. Let's take a couple more. And one last one, and then let's let that front hand fall away as it passes the foot. Turn that foot out and push. And then put both hands in motion, drawing circles. Front hand drawing a big circle ending in a push. Back hand drawing little circles, just keeping time. As we spiral the hands, reload, breathing out as we press. Qigong adaptation of the Tai Chi form, brush knee and push hand. Not the most colorful name. other side. We'll do that by keeping the hands in motion. This turned out foot, we'll turn that one in, turn the other one out, and go to the other side. One more push. Push, keep the hands moving. Turn one foot in, turn the other foot out. Hands change places. And repeating on the other side. Front hand, drawing a big circle, ending in a press. While that back hand just continues in motion, just keeping time. Transition to the third of our normal trio here. Fending off the monkey, brush knee, push hand, and we'll come to center. And then step out and part the horse's mane. Let's get ready to come to center. One more push, and then turn the foot in as we come back to center and catch a ball. Bottom hand's your guide, that leg steps out, toss away the bottom hand. Kind of the same model. Hand we're tossing away is making a little bit bigger arc, and tossing away with palm up. Back hand can do just about anything. Let it draw little circles, let it pump up and down. You can even toss it behind your back and just leave it there. In as we rewind, breathing out, toss away. Parting the horse's mane. So we take that toss away hand, running it up the underside of the horse's neck, and back hand just patting the horse. Every once in a while we get a move that has a nice little visual with it. A little simpler side to side with this one. Let's get ready to do that. So toss away, take a little pause, turn the back hand over, step back in as you catch the ball. Other hand on the bottom now. So we do the same thing on the other side. This our last form of the Tai Chi, and we'll move on to the Brocades. So one more toss away. Let's fold that back in, catch a ball, spin that ball, and let the hands float down. Hands lift, palms up. Turning over the shoulders, pressing overhead. Pressing palms out. Stopping at the shoulders and then releasing down. Let's add the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathe in, bring the hands down, shoulder height, palms facing out, and then relax the hands. Breathe out, release to the bottom. 4 parts to the breath. Breathe in, breathe out. In and release, breathe out. Let's take one more. hands float back up. One arm draws in to pull the bowstring, turning and looking over the other hand, which forms an aiming point with the thumb and forefinger. Pause and take a breath in here. As you breathe out, the body dip down, pull back on that string. Breathing in, the extended hands sweep across, and then the hands change places. Body dips down, you draw the bow. Breathing in as we transition side to side. Breathing out, gazing out over that aiming point, drawing the bow. Let's do one more on each side. Last one. Release out by letting go of the string, letting that arm extend out. Both hands close to center to catch a ball. Spin that ball. Pause here, take a breath in. On the breath out, palms move away from each other. One high, one low. Let your eyes follow the top hand. Breathing in, spiral the arms with the other hand float to the top. Body dips down. Separate the palms. And for a little extra challenge, maybe even come up on the balls of the feet. Breathing in, transitioning the other hand to the top. Breathing out during the stretch as we separate earth and sky. Let's take one more. Let's catch the ball one more time. Spin it. Let's put our hands on the sides and then open up. Let the palms turn toward the front and then out. As the hands pass the body, look out over a shoulder. Breathing in, hands close in, palms down. Breathing out, palms open, looking out over a shoulder. Breathing in as the hands come forward. Breathing out as we open up and look out over a shoulder. One more time. Closing back in, letting the hands float down. This time letting them come to rest on our thighs. Toe heel out to a little wider position. Sink the body down, let the hands slide down to the knees. Let's turn and look to one side. Take a breath in. Breath out, sweep the head out front, across. And as you come to the other side, take a breath in as you look to the other side. Breathing out, bring it on back. head and shaking the tail. One more time, over and back. On back to center. Just relax back up, toe heel back into neutral. Breathing in, hands float around, pressing in and massaging the kidneys as we gently arch the back. Breathing out, folding forward, hands trace down the outsides of the legs. Coming down as far as is comfortable. Breathing in, come on back up, tracing the insides of the legs, and then hands return to the kidneys as we gently arch. Bending the waist and holding the feet to cure the 100 illnesses. Very colorful translation. This series of moves was formulated about 800 years ago. Still being done today. One more time. And one last arch. And then just relax back to Wuji. Final two. Hands float up and form fists. Draw those into the ribs. Take a breath in. On the breath out, punch. Let the hand float up to eye level as you punch forward. Breathing in, draw it back in. Breathing out, other side. One more on each side. And then let the hands relax down. We'll save the last one for after postures since it is part of our cool down anyway. Come out just a little wider with the feet. Hands float up in front of the lower dantian. Start by holding a ball. And then let the elbows flare out so the palms are facing in toward the body. We'll pause here for a few breaths. The hands hovering over the lower dantian, first of the three centers. On your next inhale, let the hands float up to the level of the heart, palms still facing the body. Final one. On your next inhale, let the hands float up overhead, palms facing the crown of the head. On an exhale, turn the palms out. release back down, toe healing back to neutral as we do. And let's grab that last brocade. Arms rising overhead, coming up to the balls of the feet, turning the palms over at the top and pressing the palms. Let's take one more of those. And this time let the hands come down and come together over the lower dantian. Bring the feet in just a little closer. Close your eyes and let's finish with 3 deep breaths. One more deep breath. As you release that breath, go ahead and release the hands. Open the eyes back up. Give everything a little shake. Thanks for joining me for our Tuesday session. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste. You walked them puppies today?
No. We just went very carefully out the back end.
You get them out there and you just let them pull you along on the ice.
Oh, it's so treacherous. There's a hill in back that is awful. They've salted the walkway, which was fine, but the hill is just crunch. So
Yeah.
I just scaled down through the mulch and just to a little patch, and I said, "That's it, right here. Speak now or hold it the rest of the day."
Yeah, I went out and salted this morning and then was going to move, because Karen was going to go into the office at midday. And I got to click another button here.